What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a leg workout, and this is going to be part of that split series of workouts I've been doing the last couple days where I did a chest and biceps, I did a back and triceps. Now this is going to be the leg workout. And unlike those workouts, I'm not going to show the whole workout in its entirety. This one's kind of more simplistic in its design with just having two circuits. There is a thing at the end where I did my cellerciser. I'd recommend you guys maybe want to do some cardio stuff or whatever, because this workout really shouldn't take you that long, especially if you're not taking that long a rest period. So that's pretty much it. I'll put timestamps down below, links to all the equipment down below as well. If you guys can like and subscribe, always helpful. You guys can see I'm doing something a little bit different in this workout where I'm actually starting out with my with these ankle attachments. If you guys don't have these, I realize a lot of people might not have these. I will link these down below. I highly recommend these particular brand because they don't fly off. But maybe if this exercise just doesn't work for you, it's kind of cumbersome, just go ahead and skip it. Choose a different leg exercise that fits your liking. And what I basically do, and this one, I've said this before, this is one of my favorite single joint leg exercises. This is working your hamstrings. It's one of those body parts I always think is a little bit harder to hit in the legs. And so I think the Total Gym or a sliding bench trainer really does a good job at really hitting this area. It really replicates what a leg curl would be like in a gym. What I kind of make sure to tell people to do is kind of scoot your legs back so that your knees are kind of at the end of the machine. It just allows your knees to kind of flex a little bit easier. And then you'll see as these, I can do about 3 sets of this because I'm going to do this exercise and then come up and then detach the cables and then set up for the next one. So I actually leave them on for this circuit, but I'll actually increase the incline with each exercise, just kind of trying to keep these exercises flowing between each other. And then here, I've shown this before too, just a very standard single leg squat, except the only exception or difference here is that I'm just going to do like kind of a little jump single leg squat. And what I always try to do when I'm doing these is really focus on getting as low as you guys possibly can. For me, I can get kind of low with this, but by getting really low, I can actively kind of stretch and focus on my glutes, back of my hamstrings, and of course the rest of my leg muscles like my quadriceps, calves will be working as well. But when I get really low like this, I like that I can really engage my glutes and again kind of keep hitting the hamstrings. And so one of the reasons why I kind of chose the isolating the hamstrings first, I just thought I kind of could pre-exhaust them, focus on them a little bit more, just considering that the rest of your legs kind of always will get hit regardless. And even though I've said this many times, some people have accused me, or one of the videos someone said, well, I definitely train my legs, but just not really as hard as I used to. And in my opinion, my leg development, my leg size overall compared to when I was squatting really heavy, doing a lot of deadlifts, honestly, as far as how I personally can tell, I don't notice much of a difference. And I don't, if I'm sacrificing some leg strength, I'll take it. I still feel like functionally my legs are just as strong as they need to be. So you're definitely not stressing it as much with the intensity or weight, but in my opinion, you're still getting a decent leg workout. I just don't think you need to do as much stuff. And I guess that's one of the lessons I've learned through doing messing around with the Total Gym is that not only just the Total Gym, but other stuff you're doing on the side. If you're doing some running, like I do that cellerciser behind me, I'll talk about that really works your calves. I think it works your quads and just your legs in general, not as much as like resistance training, but even doing like my rower. I've said that many times. The row machine basically is very much a leg dominant, leg driven exercise. Granted, I don't do that too frequently. Sometimes it's more or less on certain weeks, but this is the majority, I would say, of my leg training is just some simple stuff like this in the Total Gym. Don't have to kill yourself. The days, as far as where I'm kind of concerned with, like the days of like grueling hardcore leg workouts have kind of somewhat passed these last couple years. Not that I won't bring them back, or not that I kind of miss them sometimes. They have some value. I just haven't really gotten into it as much. And so now we're starting circuit 2. Gonna go ahead and take off the ankle attachments if you guys use this, and then basically I'm setting up that, you saw I set up that squat stand for a resistance band. With the first exercise, just kind of like a stepping off the machine, and then just choosing some resistance bands. Or if you don't have resistance bands, you can use an external weight, or even just simply use body weight. I just did 20 repetitions, and with the resistance band like that, it's pretty easy, but each set I will progressively make it harder. You'll notice I'm going to start here doing this, but I'm going to pause in a second and actually add a little more weight. So you guys will see that in a second. The reason for doing this as well, I kind of did like more of a pre-exhausting type of thing. I wanted to do some more bodyweight squats, get the legs a little more fatigued, and then immediately jump into this exercise to kind of just pre-exhaust, make the legs a little more stressed out from just doing that previous exercise prior to this one. One of the detriments, I guess, of this exercise is that as you can see, you're kind of building up tension once you kind of start going. At the bottom, there isn't a whole lot of tension, which is fine, but it's just, that's why I kind of like, you could pulse it, you could pre-exhaust like I'm doing, you could do more reps, you can even attach the bands at a higher point in the machine. That's also another option when you guys are doing this. But you can see with each progressive set, I'm going to add more weight or more resistance bands to the machine, even with my squats as well. And the bodyweight squats, if I didn't say it, with the resistance bands really aren't too difficult. So this is not a grueling workout, although you certainly can make it harder by doing more reps. A lot of different variations, as always: speed, tempo. You notice here, I felt this, and I can really see it in this video. The way this might not be made for it, so you gotta be careful. I mean, the squat stand is really testing its limits. You guys might see it again here on the third set here when this starts. But with all those bands on there, with the counter force I'm pressing against it, you can see it's really bending. I don't think it's gonna break, but my point is, this probably isn't meant to do for long periods of time or doing a lot of stuff in this. I don't do that exercise particularly all that much, but just something to kind of think about. That was basically it, guys. So all I did was I broke it down, and then I'm just using my cellerciser. You guys could choose other form of cardio. You could call it quits right there. If you did the whole workout, it should take you about maybe 15 minutes, not counting this. This is just stuff fun. There's something on in the background I'm listening to, so I could do this for a long time. Sometimes I'm doing some like faster jumps like this, and other times, most of the times, I'm just kind of jumping up and down just really casually, and I'll do that for maybe 10 to 20 minutes. But choose some form of cardio if you guys like. I always link this down below as well. It's a product I like and really recommend if you guys pick it up. It supports the channel. But that's it, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.